Welcome to another episode of Put Me On Game Podcast. I'm your host, Chesterr. With me today, I got
OGDynastyBeats.
Oh, that
Yes,
works
sir.
too. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself, man?
Good, man. So go ahead and tell the people, if you don't mind, give them a little background on yourself.
I got you. So I'm a producer from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Grace
Man.
Creek, wherever you want to say I'm from. That's where I'm from.
Grace Creek?
You know, I went to high school and middle school and part of elementary school in Grace Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much out there in Hope Mills. Had my first job in Hope Mills, and I've been producing since I was 16, really 15 years old. So about 7 years now.
That's good.
So it's been a while.
Man.
But yeah, man, I'm just a brother trying to get placements and continue to build my credentials and all that, and trying to get those royalties up. And you know, I'm also a tech geek. You know, I work in the tech world, and I work for Dell and RTP or whatever, and I want to have my own app one day. I want to do all this stuff. You know, I'm like
you got big goals and just.
Yes,
So
sir.
is this the side hustle or is this
So-
just, which one's the side hustle?
The technology is definitely the side hustle, but like it pays my bills, of course. But like music, I want that to be the primary, the build thing and get all my wants, not just sometimes over here, over there.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still building, and I got my BeatStars up, my website. I had a website up for years now, and you get sales here and there, like placements, how we just spoke about. They come, but it needs to be more consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it needs to be I'm trying to get it to be every single week, not like once every other month. You know, it seemed like, I know on social media, it seemed like I got all people like, oh, you got placements back to back.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's really hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get the email, the beats, and then you have to make sure you get paid. I don't have a manager, not no more. But I got to make sure I get paid. I got to register my own stuff for my royalties. I got to do all that myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to say, break that down to me. So,
For sure.
we jumping in a little early. We'll roll back. But
For
jump
sure.
that into me because we was talking about it before we started. So, obviously, everybody, it's a hip-hop community. Everybody
Yeah.
tried to rap. Everybody tried to make a beat somehow, some way. If you done rip Fruity Loops, if you bought
Yeah.
it. I honestly don't know nobody that brought Fruity Loops, bro.
Yeah, it's I cracked it before, but like it stopped working, and then I just folded and bought it. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't buy it until like a little bit after college. I went to Faye Tech, and a little bit after that, I went ahead and bought it after I had the money to buy it. At first, I was like, I'm using the demo,
Yeah.
even though I cracked the full version and that stopped working. The demo, you can't save your track outs, but you can save MP3s and Wave. I just uploaded them to BeatStars, saved the stems, and did it that way. I was trapping off the demo for the longest, you know.
Fake so you make it.
And yeah, exactly. Because but most producers you meet, they use the demo, because it's just hard. It's so hard to crack the full version now. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about FL Studio, it's a one-time payment. Once you pay for it, it's not like a subscription. I think you have choices to do that. I think, but like I just bought it and I'm done with it. I got a full version. Every time there's an update, get that for free.
Wow.
You know, so I got the 20. But I like using 11. That's how I know I'm getting kind of like, you know,
Yeah,
23.
it's getting up there,
Yeah, I'm just like, man, I don't feel comfortable using 20 like that. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like 11, that's what I started on. And I feel more comfortable in that. You know, it's like my element. It's just different stuff in there.
Sure,
I can do it in 5 minutes in FL Studio. 11, 20, it take me about 20 minutes because it's just like different.
This over here.
Yeah, like, they put this over here now. Like, I don't like watching the demos on YouTube either. You know, I feel like I can do it myself. I'm a techie. I should be able to do it.
I feel like, especially as guys, bro, we don't look at manuals and nothing no more.
Nah,
We just, all right,
yeah.
these are the pieces.
Yeah, and if I really don't know how to do it, then I'll look on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like how you just said, all the pieces. If I gotta change something in the car, YouTube, how do y'all do this? You know what I'm saying? Like I just bought Rain-X windshield wipers. How do I put this on without breaking this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube it. But yeah, I just be troubleshooting everything myself, man.
All right, so tell me, so you went to college for
Oh yeah.
beat making or like
Oh,
producing?
nah.
What exactly was it in?
So I turned 18 after high school. I went to Faye Tech for IT security, and it's pretty much information security technology. And my dad asked me if I wanted to go for music, but I was like, I know so many producers that's famous that did not go to college for music. I think London on the Track, the only one that I know of that went to Full Sail, and he actually became something. And it teaches you something, but if I'm gonna have to pay for school, I'm gonna do it for something that's gonna take care of me, because I can do the beats myself. You know what I'm saying? Now I done figured something out. You know, I got a lot more to figure out, but like now that I figured this placement game out and the sales thing out on BeatStars, I feel like I'm good. Like I ain't really have to go. If I ever go, it would be for like a piano class for like, you know, for instruments and stuff like that. Cause that's something that I really lack. You know, instruments. Anytime you hear like a good melody from me, it took me about 30 minutes to get it right. Wow. Yeah. Most of my stuff is like plugins and sampling. I just get lucky with it. You know, got it come from like the ear. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like if someone asked me to, it's just gonna come out just my version. Just
sitting there, just playing with it and everything.
It's gonna come out my version. You know, like it's not gonna be exactly what you know. I can't key something unless I really focus on it. Yeah. You know, but if I went to piano class or something, that'd be nice. I probably should do that. You know, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you right. Everybody will. It's hopefully it'll be out soon.
Yeah.
But I'm out here acting.
Word.
Videos.
Word.
Like,
okay.
I tell you, I can't put it out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's exclusive.
I'm trying to do every and anything.
Yeah.
So
yes,
do it, man.
Absolutely, man. Good luck on that too. You know what I'm saying? That's acting something I've been interested in for a while, but I just haven't. You know.
I'm not no big time actor, but the little thing that I'm in is gonna be out hopefully within like the next month. Is like okay. Like,
okay, yeah.
We gonna see.
Congrats, man.
So when you was telling me about BeatStars, is it BeatStars?
Yep.
How did that, like, what exactly is that? Because you started telling me about royalties and everything. What exactly is that part of it? So
BeatStars. Basically I signed up when I was like 17, 18. It's like $20 a month, or you can pay for a yearly subscription. You subscribe to them to create you a website, basically. They keep it up. Like mine is OGDynastyBeats.beatstars.com. I think you can make your own.
That's the one that's in your bio.
Yeah, it's pretty much your website, and then it make it easy, you know, easy access. Then it's like one of those things where they have a good like design and stuff. It's kind of like how you do the what's those website creators and all that, like
I know what you're talking about.
You know, I'm sure you get the YouTube ads like create your own website for your business. It's pretty much like that, but specifically for producers, and they build the producer agreements for you. Like when people buy my beats, they can either lease it or do exclusive rights. It automatically sends them a contract saying that I have to get 50% of this, 50% of that. And or if they get exclusive rights, it says this beat is now yours. Now I can't sell it to nobody else. Or if they buy a lease, I can continue to resell it to other people.
So you could buy a beat. Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's how it goes. And then you can make your own rules as well. You can like edit the templates for the contracts that you send out. Like mine's, I got my BMI number for them to find me, so they don't have to hit me in a DM. Some of the times they still do, because most of the time they don't really care about my royalties. Like I said, I have to do that myself. I'm usually hitting them like, hey, did the song come out? You know, I see that you purchased the beat. You know, I need to register it. I need to know the title of the song. I can register it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, even if they register it on their end, I still got to do it on my end. You know what I'm saying? So, because I got to get my money on BMI. Oh yeah. So after they pay for it, I still get royalties. You know, and at the end of the day, royalties for a producer, it doesn't really take care of you until you're like a Billboard. Unless it's on Billboard or the radio, it ain't hitting all that much. Even if it's like an internet sensation, it's gonna be something. But it's one of those things like you see the tweets that's like $1,000 for like $20 now. It's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have bills, if I didn't have no bills, it would feel a lot better. But it's like with bills and all that, I'm gonna need to up my game a little bit. You know, I need to get on Billboard, all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. So, speaking of billboards and artists, you done worked with Trae Tha Truth.
Yes, sir.
Toosii. I said Toosii. Toosii.
Yes, sir.
Big Molly. Did I say that right?
She go by Mally,
Mally, my fault if you was watching. Gudda Gudda and a lot more other people that I've seen. So you want to tell me how does how have you expanded and just because everybody make beats, but how have you got in connection with some of these people? Like just putting your name out there, sending to the email. Like I wouldn't imagine how to just Is it luck? Like, you know,
it's feel like a lot of luck and blessings for real.
Yeah.
but you know, I'm gonna blow people's minds with this, but my wife is my A&R pretty much. She doesn't really know it, but she is. You are. She don't watch. But yeah, like she's the one that goes on YouTube. She'll be listening to music. She'll be like, hey, check this girl out. See if she's signed. Go on her Instagram. Google her. See who she signed to. Because if they sign, I know I'm going to get a lot of money out the label. Yeah. I can charge them more than I charge people on my website. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that they have it. And I have more leverage. The more credentials you have, the more credits you got, the more leverage you got to ask for more money. So I'm really trying to find those people that are signed, but they don't want to say that they signed. Yeah. Those type of people. Because they're not that big yet to where they wouldn't read my messages and stuff. So anyway, my wife will point out someone like I think we found out about Big Mally together, for example. I found out about Big Mally. I didn't know she was about to get signed when I DM'd her for her email. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm DMing an independent artist that's going to get signed. But I was like, I didn't know she was going to get signed that fast. I didn't know people were already looking at her. Yeah. She just was getting numbers on YouTube. You know, like thousands and millions of numbers on YouTube. So I'm like, she's going to blow at some point. Yeah, but then literally like I DM'd her on like Twitter or something like that. She just give me the email, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm thinking I'm gonna send the beat, and then I'm gonna ask her about a payment or whatever, because she independent. Like you negotiate with independent people. That's like, you know, I don't know what their situation is. Yeah. So I'll be like, I'll negotiate with you. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't want to pay this, how much can you do? I'm expecting that. Next month she gets signed to like South Coast. Yeah. Like next month, and I get lucky. So, like the beats that I sent, they're sending me like the lawyers and the contracts and stuff. Like that was literally my first placement. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that was, like you said, luck, God, however you want to put it. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That was out of my control. You know, but that's credit to my wife and I. Like we seen that she was gonna be something, and then she got she didn't even hit her ceiling yet. You know what I'm saying? Like she got a long way to. She can go as many stages as she can, like from this point. And but that's just an example.
And if you don't know who on South Coast Music Group, probably the biggest artist out right now. So go do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, eventually they're gonna sign her over to a bigger major, like how they did the Baby. They signed her to the independent label South Coast, and then they pay bags, by the way. They're really good black independent company. They're professional. They signed the Baby over to Interscope, and it's like a, you know, partnership.
Joint venture, however they.
And if they do that, or when they do that with Big Mally, you know, whether it's a different label than Interscope, I think Toosii, they did it with Capitol or Universal or something. If they do that when they do that with Big Mally, I gotta speak into the existence.
Oh, you have to.
It's gonna be even more for me. Like I have a connection with her now. I got her number, email, all that. Like I'm a priority now. Like. As far as her checking emails from producers and stuff, like she gonna check mine first now because we don't work together, and it's like a blessing, man. You know what I mean? I just started finding out that formula and doing that with everybody. And certain artists, I'll find out about them on YouTube from my wife, like I said, and then I'll just DM them myself on Instagram or Twitter. I'll find out which, you know, I'll do both. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, it's been more effective. And then they'll just send the email back, and I'm like, all right, thank you, I appreciate it. I'll be like, what should be email? Literally just that. Or I'll say, I have beats for you. What should be email? Literally got DM. I should make a YouTube video and show it, but you know, but it's like it's one of those things like I don't want them to not answer if they see videos like, oh, I ain't gonna DM them. He gonna show everybody. Even though I could blur it out. You know, artists are sensitive these days about stuff like that, like understandably so. So, but it's literally a long list of people that just gave me the email. And mind you, some of those emails, they get full, so then I ask again, and I might not get another response. It's just, it is what it is. But the fact that they gave it to me, I was like, all right, that's the formula. And my friend was telling me he think it might be because of my page. Like, I done cleaned it up. I put producer in there. It's nothing crazy. Like, I don't got the Goku anime in my shit no more. Like, you know,
like
the profile picture. Stuff, right. It looks like I'm a producer, and then I got my credits in there now. Like, at first I thought credits was lame, but I want people to know what I've done, and then people go to my site now and be like, oh, he produced for this person, and they'll take me more seriously. They're more likely to message you back if they see that you actually work with these people and it's on my page as well. Like, it's just cleaner now. And I was like, I think you're right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why because they wasn't responding before. Like, you DM a celebrity. I'm talking about like blue check rappers, you know. Not as far as a Lil Baby, but you aim low. Aim for the people that Lil Baby signed. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at 42 Doug. sign to Lil Baby and Yo Gotti. Don't just go straight for Yo Gotti. That's my advice to producers.
You gotta work your way up with everything. Like even with what I'm doing, and even like conversations and talks like this is like, I know I'm not about to go get the Baby, Drake, or nothing like that. So I'm constantly looking like, I may be able, or not. You never know. I'm speaking to this. I may get a Toosii. You never know.
You never know.
But
I think you
a
can.
year ago, I might have been able to get a Toosii. Now, I don't know. But you know, you have to look at that, especially with your content creation and you doing your craft. Like, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, but be realistic at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Trae Tha Truth thing.
Yeah,
he's known as he's not seen as a big artist anymore. And some might say he never was, but I listened to him when I was on the school bus in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shout out to Tavares Jordan too. He did the melody on that beat, and that's my homie, man. He from I'm sorry, Tavares. I forgot where he from, but I met him in Fayetteville, so I know he's not from Fayetteville. He stay out there somewhere over hills now, I think, but. He's a really good brother, man. Should go follow Tavares Jordan. But anyway, like with the Trae Tha Truth thing, some might be like, he's not as big as he was. Yeah. But some people still listen to him. He still has that fan base. He's independent now. Yeah. And then he was just on the Breakfast Club like 2 days ago. So he still has something going on. And that's better for me. I just aim for him. He's more likely to DM me back. He don't have no label like involved. And as much as I like going to the people that signed, I got to go to them too, the people that's like not signed anymore. Or the people that got out of their deal, or the people that they trying to get out of their deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they trying to get signed by somebody else. I might can help them like formulate that project that lets 300 take a look at them if they trying to get signed to somebody. Like Soulja Boy, he just signed to somebody else. I think. I think so. For that, right before that new single he got that came out, that Make It Clap. I think he signed something, but it was like with a smaller label. But he's been trying to get signed again for a long time. You know, because he's been on his deal for a long time. He was doing the independent thing. Yeah. But I seen him sign something. It could have been some trolling. You know what I'm saying? But I think he did.
Soulja Boy, he been by himself for a while.
Yeah.
But then that goes into like, that's a whole different game that we ain't even keen to yet. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a it's just like you gotta pay attention, man, to these artists, man. Like if somebody got 50,000, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. And they only got 5,000 followers. I think they if they got real comments and all that, just go for it. See what their situation is. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're independent, just be like, hey, I just sent you some beats. I made it easy for you. I ain't sent no snippets, nothing like that. Go ahead and make a record. See how you like it. How much can you pay for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to do business? If not, cool. And if they block me or put the song, I'll just take the song down. I know how to take songs down now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of producers, they scared to email people. And that's what I was scared to do, like, early on. And it's just the fear of people stealing your beats and all that and blocking you, putting the song up. People don't really know how to go about, like, it's really hard. You know, YouTube, it's easy to get YouTube stuff taken down these days. But, like, when the song's everywhere, it's hard to be, like, hit the distribution and be like, hey, can you take the song down? They didn't buy the beat. You know, it's easier if it's like a distro kid, but it could be potentially harder depending on who they distribute it with. But most people do distro kid that's independent, and it's pretty easy to take songs down for me right now. But like, if they want to play and not pay, you know, it's
and that's part of learning the business too. Because you got to learn the paperwork side. You have to learn the ins and the outs, because you hear all the time producers getting stiff.
Get a lawyer.
Producers never getting paid for some of the big producers too.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that your business is in line.
And then people, a lot of things that's been happening. This hasn't happened to me, but they'll get offered like 10,000, but it'll say no royalties, and producers will be like, "Oh, I'm getting 10,000, sign," and they don't. And at the time, it's fucked up because they don't really have the money for a lawyer at the time. A lot of them don't have it, you know. And then it varies. You know, some people lucky enough to have a lawyer in their family. I don't have that, so I'm paying for a lawyer. Yeah. You know, but that'd be killer though if I had a lawyer in the family. Man, boy, yeah,
run it up.
Yeah, but like people are getting the $10,000 payouts and saying they didn't get paid, or they not getting paid. But it's like, bro, I'm sorry, but like you just said, or Nick Cannon was like, it's nobody's business to teach you business, and that shit hit me. That's when I was like, I need to get a lawyer, because at first I was just raw dogging it. Go on YouTube. What is publishing? What is this? How much of this do I need? What is the net royalty of a master? What is that? What is a master? I was just like, all right, sign. And luckily, the ones that I did without a lawyer, I didn't get fucked. You know what I mean? As far as I know. But I'm getting my royalties. I got paid. You know what I'm saying? Because what they'll do is the label will give you their lawyer, but that's their lawyer. People don't realize, like, they representing the label. They not representing you. They act like it, but they really trying to be, like, they'll say yes to anything that you say. Like, will I get this? Yeah. Will I get? Yeah. Because they doing it in favor of the label. You know what I'm saying? Get your own lawyer. I don't give a damn if they give you a lawyer at the label. I don't do it. You know.
So tell me, is everything like at home in base, or do you like go to the studio with them, or how's your work environment?
So now it's even easier because in the tech world I work from home.
Okay.
I have 15-minute breaks. I got an hour lunch. I turn over to the side. I'm making beats. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm on the Zoom, I'll be like, hey, customer, while this is rebooting or whatever, I'm gonna go. Can I put you on mute? Big Mally hit me. I gotta send an email out. And I'll go turn around. So I'm working from home right now, and I used to go to the studio a lot and go pull up on people, but it get kind of dangerous. You know what I mean? Really? So it get dangerous. People doing, like, my dad told me one day, if people doing stuff that's illegal and you in the studio, I'm just in the studio, I'm thinking I ain't doing nothing wrong. Yeah. And I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially around here when I was here.
Extracurricular activities. Yeah.
I was at 19, just going anywhere, pulling up on anybody, like, didn't know them. Didn't know anybody, mutual friends that I just like, oh, you got money? I'm pulling up, you know. And he told me, like, you know, if the cops come in the door, they're not gonna ask, okay, you wasn't doing nothing. Okay, they gonna pull everybody out the room, including me. I'm just making beats, but I'm a witness to whatever they doing. You know, they making sales right there. Studio just got kind of dangerous, and mainly other people cribs that they built the studio in. You know, not mainly the professional studios, some of them, but not all of them. It's just people just be doing the most sometimes, and then it's like too much people in there to where I can't focus sometimes. Yeah. And like, as close as I am to Big Molly, we just haven't gotten in the studio yet. But my wife thinks it's gonna happen at some point. But as we got records, a bunch of records, and I never been in the studio with it, but I seen an interview where she said she just don't like a lot of people in there either, you know. Yeah, and I can respect that because I'm like that too. So I think nowadays, like, people are starting to realize, like, to get in your element on both on the artist and producer side. Like, sometimes some people are just different. Everybody don't want 10 different people in the studio. You know, like, I don't have to. You can email now, and Big Molly trusts my email. You know what I'm saying? My email game. I'm not sending her no BS. You know what I'm saying? If she give me a description on the phone, I'm sending her what she want. You know what I mean? Like, to where I don't have to pull up. But at some point, I'm going to pull up just for fun. Yeah. You know, it's in, you know, she be recording in Raleigh or whatever most of the time, or Miami. But I never even been to Miami, so I probably pull up on her in Raleigh.
I just went last month. You got to go.
Word.
You got to go. Oh, my God, I love it, boy.
That's like the only place me and my wife haven't been in the U.S. besides Hawaii that we wanted to go. We went to L.A. That's another thing I need to stop doing. I need to make it / kind of a business trip for just one day. You know, I'm always going to just go, but that's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love experiencing stuff with my wife, and we went to New York and Atlanta, and I think Vegas was our favorite one. But at some point, I need to go to New York to link up with some people, because I've always said I'm gonna do it, but every time I want to do it, I make it to a vacation thing, and it's cool. But, like, I need to get in the studio in New York or something, like, you know, like Cinematics in New York. That's the people that got me the Newski 2 Squad and Toosii placement. Okay. So he signed to Cinematic. Not Toosii, but Newski. And he's a new artist. He's like 16.
All these dudes are so 16. Young and talented, man.
16, like, and it's like they really are. Like, it's abundance. It's an abundance of them. And some people say it started with Chief Keef, but I seen something that said Rakim was like 17 when he made one of them songs. So, like,
I think Nas was like young too when he made his first.
This has been like a thing. Like, people, like you said, talented, man. Just talent, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, there's so many artists to choose from nowadays. Like, to link with, you know, build with them, you know. And then you got producers like I heard D.A. got that dope. I heard 2 Chainz's manager speaking on him, how he was sending, like, beats to him every day, like, up close to 10 years ago, or, you know, even 5. And he was saying, like, you know, most producers expect, like, hey, they dropped people, like, so let's just say Pooh Shiesty posts his email, right? People dropping their website links. Pooh Shiesty is not going to your website to buy your beat. You have to send it to him, let him get the record out, and then I think he signed to 1017. So let them handle the payments and stuff. You're gonna get paid potentially more unless you ask for less. But they'll try to pay you more to keep you satisfied. They don't want to get sued. You know what I'm saying? And that's what 2 Chainz's manager was saying. Said Dia got the dope, did it the right way. He just was emailing people, and it, you know, what's his tag? DA got that dope. Yeah, he was just emailing it to people, you know. And then I think some producers do that, and they might just do royalties with they build their credits up, and then they start charging people. It's so many different ways to get in the game. You know, just me personally, like, I don't want to undersell myself and just do royalties. Yeah, you know, like cool. Especially if I don't know if the song's gonna gross. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of producers got on like that. They started off just doing like, hey, I'll sign a contract with just royalties and give me a piece of the master. And that's smart, you know, to a lot of people. But like the thing is, like, I don't know what the song gonna do unless it's Drake or Cardi B. Like it's automatically it's like. But if it's someone bubbling or like someone that had one song and they other songs not doing that well, I don't know what the song gonna do. Or the song might be on the album but not on the radio. Like, how about, you know, give me a piece of the album, give me, you know, like, you know, percentage of, so you can negotiate this stuff, the percentages of the album sales, even though you did one song on the album. You can do that. I'll lower my advance if I still want an advance. What else? 50, you always supposed to get 50 on publishing and songwriting credits and all that. You know, always. There's 50% of the composition. You only got to split it if you got collaborators, you know, other producers on the song, or if it's a samples. Yeah, I love sampling, but you know, you got to give them a piece of your publishing because you produced it, and usually about 10%, you know, or something like that. But like I try to just stay away from it because I was doing it too much at one point. And but I love it. I do it for my leisure time and stuff. So it's a lot of ways to get in the game, man. You know, I know I kind of went off a little bit, but
hey, that's what we put me on game. let me know, because I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's stuff that I hear, but it's like, okay, you're giving me. I didn't know like it was so much negotiable, because me, if I'm coming up, I'm like, okay, I might be a little timid, like, oh, this is 2 Chainz, bro. Like, just had a song, bro. Just put my name out there on it. You know, people think that. Be like, no, I worked hard on this beat. I need to get paid.
Yeah, you need something up front. It's like y'all pay the videographers up front. Yeah, you know, you pay the people that did the album artwork up front, but I guess they don't really get royalties as far as I know. Yeah, but they always try to play. There's this plague now where a lot of producers are accepting just royalties and no advances, and some of them don't get the I can understand if you're getting 50 of the master from a DJ Mustard song or something like that. Do you? You know, I heard DJ Mustard say something like that. He's not even taking too many advances. Now, he made so much money. He's like, hey, give me a big piece of the master. Give me my normal publishing, songwriting, 50-50. I'm good. I don't care how much y'all give me for the advance. I don't need $100K, even though he's worth $100K or probably more than that. He'll probably take 10 and then so he can get the mat. And the label's like, okay, shoot, if we ain't got to pay you up front. Or like how the one that played the Lion King, Jason Weaver. Did you see that on Vlad TV?
Think so. I think he's talking about that.
Yeah, his mom negotiated like $100,000 up front with royalties, but Disney offered them $1 million with no royalties. They could have took $1 million right there, but now he's still getting royalties to this day. And his mom was like, even though we don't know what the movie gonna be, just lower the advance. $100,000 is still a lot of money. A lot to a lot of people. But I know you can blow it in like a day if you give it to the wrong person. But you can invest a lot with that, and then you get the royalties, the proper royalties. He's still getting paid to this day. He's like 40 something. He was a kid when he did that. So it's the same thing with music too, like acting, music. Like these contracts mean a lot. Like it's crazy. But it's like I'll give you another example. The Newski 2 Squad and Toosii placement. Like if you look on Genius right now. It'll have 4 producers up there. You ever wonder how like it sounds simple, but it's like 4 producers, 4 proper producers on one song.
Is it from like I think that's from like sampling and all that stuff, right? Or no?
They didn't sample anything. No, I'm about to tell you though. So it was just me and Larry Beats 1999, just us 2. We made the beat, the exact same beat that you hear. You know, well, before that, when by the way, I sent this beat to Newski 2 Squad like. But when he had 50,000 followers, he didn't have a blue check. I didn't know he was signed either. God. I didn't know he was signed. Apparently, he had just got signed at like 15, and they kept it on the raps. Because they want to wait till they like bubble up a little bit to be like, okay, he signed to us. But anyway, I sent it to him. It was just me and Larry Beats 1999. He's a dude from Germany. He sent me the guitar loop, and I just did the whole beat, did the drums, snares, all that. And then I signed a contract, got the advance, you know what I'm saying, and negotiated that, the publishing and the songwriting royalties. Just me and Larry Beats. This is months before the song came out. The song came out in March or April of this year. I signed this contract in October last year. And the song's about to come out. They promoting it, right? Mind you, I already got paid, so I'm not worried. I'm just like, thank you for coming out with the song, because a lot of times labels will pay you and the song might still get cut from the album. Yeah. You know, because they just got the money like that. So, but this was finally about to come out. And then a day before it dropped at midnight, like that Thursday, I get an email from an A&R on the label saying, hey, we made some changes to the beat. You know, me and this, the CEO, Johnny Shipes, shout out to Johnny Shipes, and someone else, he got to place another instrument over it a little bit. Pretty much adding some stuff to it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me listen to the changes in the song. And I listened to it. It sounds exactly the same with the exception of like a couple things. You know what I'm saying? And I was told Johnny Shipes, he's more like a Quincy Jones type of dude. I don't know if he played the instrument or not, but I've been told like he probably told the guy to play those little, it was like some guitar flips, and then they added some pads in the middle. Yeah. And it added some depth to the song. So I was like, okay, cool. But then I'm looking at the splits. Pretty much now it's split evenly between us 4 producers. You know, but they were allowed to change the contract. I was going to bring up the fact that I couldn't renegotiate anything if I wanted to, but they can, because I already gave them ownership of the beat by signing the previous contract. Okay. So they own the beat. So I'm like, they like, hey, you can sign this new contract with the new splits if it's cool. And I'm just like, I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, I really don't have a choice because I already signed the other thing. So they going to do it anyway because it drops at midnight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, cool. I got my credentials. And I was like, I got a beat with the CEO, Johnny Shipes. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I'm just like, I was going to get more of a chunk from the royalties. And it's just like, man, I got the advance, but that advance being gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is the time, this is like my second, third placement. I didn't ask for that much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man. And then I had to split it with the other producer, you know. But it's just like one of those things, like, you got to really, really go through some stuff, you know. You're going to go through some stuff, but, and I'm sure I'm not done going through it either.
But then again, it's the placement too. So it's like the name out there now. So it's like, and okay, OG, who's this?
Exactly.
So that's gonna bring on other stuff. That's gonna build relationships.
Exactly.
That's, of course, that's what we want.
Exactly.
Granted, we building up, so we want to get paid too. But it's a battle, man. So I understand it.
And I was like, it added on to the beat, but you know, it just was like a feeling of, I thought we already signed it, but it's only in their favor if like, oh, you already signed it, you know, you already did what we wanted to do, so it's done. But if I wanted to renegotiate some shit, like, or have one of my people add on to it, I couldn't get that done because I already signed the other. But they can do it. They can do whatever they want.
That's their, you signed
exclusive rights.
So okay, I got you.
Yeah, and it's like they asking me if it's okay. I'm like, yeah, I don't have no choice. Now if they tried to undercut the percentages instead of doing even splits, I would have had a problem. Yeah. But mainly because like the name of the beat was Gone Too Soon. What's the name of the song? Gone Too Soon. So I basically named the beat or named the song, and that inspired the whole. That's the hook. So I really could have got more. Exactly.
Could have got more.
But the fact that I signed the previous thing, it's like I don't really had that much leverage no more. Like, but and then I felt a part of me was like you said, I'm getting the credentials. This is the biggest song I've been waiting on before the Trae Tha Truth joint. I'm gonna just let it come out at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, register these percentages. Cool. Excuse me. And the other producer was confused. You know, he's like 20 or something like that. And I'm like, man, I'm learning too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he didn't want to tag them on nothing and none of that. I was like, yo, it's cool, you know. Because they kind of like forgot that he was on the beat and all that, you know. Because when there's a lot of producers on the song, some people just get like, you know, some people get lost in the transaction or whatever, but I tagged them on everything, you know what I mean? So I got a little breakdown of it on my YouTube or whatever. It's not a complete thing because I didn't say the track outs for that beat for some odd reason. I didn't have the track outs. Save your track outs. But you know, it's just crazy. You know, stuff like that just been happening, and God just been teaching me back to back, you know.
Hey man, it's all a part of growth, man. So I got a question because I've always thought of this, but can you listen to music and enjoy it, or are you like, I'm listening, oh, that could be that, tweak that, do this?
Yeah.
Can you separate it? Because when I watch other podcasts and stuff, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I like that light in here. I need to turn it here, do this and everything. Like, I can't.
I never thought about that.
It's bad.
I never thought about
that. I watch at least like 15 podcasts. Podcasting is TV for me.
Wow.
So it's like I'm just looking, and I'm talking about big production to like little production like myself. That's growing. It's just like, all right, you could do that, you could do this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Instagram pages and stuff, like, okay, do that better. Like, come on, you could have did this. Like, it's bad because my hand is in everything. My hand's in the audio, my hand's in the visual, my hand's in the editing, my hand's in the business, the ad sponsorships I'm trying to get. It's in everything. Like you said, you had a manager.
Yeah.
I want a manager. I want a social team and everything. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to get. It's content creation at the end of the day.
I hope you get a better manager than I did, because
it was that bad.
It was pretty. I mean, it wasn't bad, but like it just wasn't good either. He wasn't doing anything. You know, it just wasn't working out. I wanted him to do a lot more. And a lot of managers, sometimes they feel like hamsters or whatever, but he wasn't doing anything really. He got me in the beat club for the Timberland joint. It's like a VIP thing. You gotta get accepted to get in it. They got A&R opportunities, send beats for Cardi, all that. Like so I'm waiting on the placement from that. But he got me into that, but that was like the only thing. So I credit him for that, but it just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? He kind of fell off with communication as a way of telling me, like, you know,
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, but anyway, to answer your question, you know, I can still listen to music. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Like, it's weird because it's always been like I remember my mom was taking me to Morganton Road Elementary, listening to R. Kelly. It was 04, 05, y'all. But you know, and Nelly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just listening to all the sounds. I'm more intrigued with the sound, and I've always been like that. So it's kind of like it don't really bother me. But it bothered me when the artists don't do the sound justice. I'm like, someone else could have did something way better on this beat. But, you know, the producer got paid. Shout out to them. I'm looking up the producer name to see if they got any beat tapes out. Like, Jalil Beats, he was one of the first people I seen put out, like, beat tapes on Apple Music and all that. I'm listening to those all the time. But then, if the wrong person get on the song, it kind of ruin it for me. But if a Meek Mill get with Jalil, I'm ready. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of one of those things. I'm listening to every instrument in it, you know, but it's a little, I feel like my ears are more sensitive now. Like I would have tweaked the snare a little bit. Like you just said with the podcast, and like pretty much the same thing, but not too much anymore. Cause like the weird thing is, it's more so with my own songs. I'm like, why didn't they say this on that part, or why didn't they do the hook this way?
And that was gonna be my next question. It's like, you want people to buy it and everything, but if somebody don't do your song justice, I mean, you're not gonna say it to them, obviously. But it is what it is? Like,
it depends, man. Like, if it's like
back and just like, bro, come on, like you could have did a little better.
Exactly. That's the thing that made me want to get in the studio with them. But like I said, it get kind of dangerous sometimes. But if it's a professional studio, I'll speak up. I'll be like, hey man, I was with my homie GQ. Shout out to GQ. And I was like, hey, man, you got to say this like this. That's not hitting right. And the engineer was like, I was going to say something. And I'm like, I'm saying something because I know everybody's thinking it like that your bars is clean, everything delivery, but the hook, do something with that. You know, I went in and did a little demo. I was like, you should do it like this. Like, you know, he didn't take that advice, but he got the message and was like, I'm going to do it even better than what you did. You know, and that, you know, that changed the whole song. So I like doing stuff like that. But if it's like someone that bought my beat, and they already did the song out, I just won't promote it. I'll just be like, thank you for your support. You know what I mean? I always appreciate the support from everybody that ever supported me, purchased the beat, all that. Love y'all. But some of those songs is not, you know. But, you know, it's trial and error. Like, they just trying to see. I have to keep in mind, they just want to see if they can do this or not. And if they get feedback, because they're going to hear it from other people if they don't hear it from me. But like you said, like, if they paying for my beats, I'm just like, thank you for your support. And if I don't promote it, or promote it as much, you already kind of know, you know what I'm saying? But like, and then I'm kind of biased too, because I've been trying to keep my page clean and just put the hardest stuff on there, even if it's like mostly the blue check people. I ain't gonna lie, I've been trying to just keep those people on my page to promote it, you know what I mean? And then sometimes I promote like the independent artists I work with, if they really like hungry, you know what I mean? And if they if I met him, you know, I might have an attachment to him emotionally through the music. Like, man, like we was just talking about whatever he talking about on the record, and he's using my beat to tell his story. Like, I fuck with it. I'm promoting this shit. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is from the dirt. Like, he's talking about this. Like, I love it. So I'm promoting it. I don't give a damn. You know, but if it's trash, like, I'll tell them, like, sometimes I tell people to, like, hey, can you re-record this before you put it out? If they sent it to me before it's out. If it's already out, I'm just like, you know, if they didn't check in with me, you know.
But I want to run it back real quick before I forget, make sure I ask you. So when you sending stuff out, and obviously you said you just heard the Toosii thing and everything before it came out, and that was months ago.
Yep.
Is there any way that you can, like, check before stuff comes out or afterwards? How does that work? Like, keeping a list of, okay, all these people bought a beat. I'm waiting. Like, how does that work?
So when I had people lease beats from me and the song never came out. I done looked it up. I'll Shazam my beats and I'll contact them to be like, hey man, I just decided not to do it no more. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, dang, that was a waste of money. But people got different priorities in their head of what, you know, they probably thought like, all right, he got it. You know, I'm support him. I thought I wanted to do this, now I don't. I literally had people buy beats for hundreds of dollars to not put the song out. And I was like, I would put something out, you know what I mean? Or, you know, if you didn't like that beat, you couldn't do nothing with the song. I let people substitute it, like, hey, I'll just give you exclusive rights to this one since you paid for the money and you said you don't want that beat. I'll just put the other one back on the site. It's cool. But a lot of times, you know, when they buy beats, their email is in there, address, card information. I can see all that. Well, they kind of block out some of the card information, but I know your name, all that. Just like a business, if you buy something and the commercial where the iPhone tracking you everywhere, I can do that if I wanted to. Like, it's literally all your information. I can see when people use a woman's card, like they probably use their girl card, or I can see when people scamming, they use a different card every time they pay for my beat. You know, different person every time they pay for my beat. You know, so I'm like, cool. It's my money now, but I hope they know what they're doing because they're getting people. You know what I'm saying? They're getting people. But like it's crazy. So that's how I keep up with it. I'll email them and follow up. Or I ain't gonna lie, sometimes if I look up they following and I feel like the song ain't really gonna do that much, I just won't register it. Cause if I listen to the song like one time and I found out about it, I'm just like, I'm not registering that. It's probably gonna make 30 cents. You know what I mean? And that's just reality. You know,
does it cost to register? Like, how much it cost to register?
Talking about royalties and stuff.
Yeah, just anything with BMI.
BMI, like, so songwriting is free, and at first I was just doing it like that till the A&R called me, and it's funny because this A&R was for Waka Flocka label. I had a placement with his previous artist, LA Foes, but they not. I guess he not dealing with them no more. I don't know what happened with that. He put out a project, the song ain't on there, but the A&R let me know, hey, you got a placement with this. Do you have your BMI publisher set up? I see that you're a songwriter with them. You're missing out on money without registering as a BMI publisher. It's two different sides. You get 50 of the publishing, 50 of the songwriting royalties. So I had to pay like $150 to become a publisher with BMI, but it was free to do songwriting. On ASCAP, you know, they do the same thing BMI does. People got their own preferences and all that shit, but like it's 50 to be a publisher and 50 to be a songwriter or something like that. But you gotta pay for both. I think it might be more than that, but you know, I'm not with ASCAP at all. I'm with BMI, and yeah, it's really crazy. BeatStars offered me to be a, you know, they got their own publishing thing now, and I turned that. They sent me a contract, turned that down. Excuse me, because I'm like, I'm already a publisher with BMI. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to take this percentage, and I love BeatStars, but I'm not. You know, they know about my placements and all that. They just like they kind of pull you in with the. They like to do interviews on YouTube and you can become a BeatStars influencer and stuff. And I almost got pulled in by that because I was like, that can grow my sales. You know what I mean? You can have your little percentage. You know what I mean? But because they got something with Sony or whatever, but it just wasn't. The contract wasn't really looking. It didn't
feel right then.
It didn't feel right at all. I'm like, because right now I own my publishing.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, people can buy your publishing. Yeah.
Don't sell your publishing. They'd be quick to especially sign a contract.
Yeah, or the freaking their masters and stuff, you know. And I understand if it's like, if you really needed it and it's for discography between this year and that year. But it depends on if that was your biggest hit between that year or if you just not if you just really need that payout, because they give you that at one time. Like the guy that took he didn't take Taylor Swift's publishing, but she been fighting for it for like or the masters. He sold it for $300 million. They gave him that right off the spot. They ain't paying that off. They gave him $300 million. You know what I mean? Like royalties, it's quarter by quarter. So a lot of people like, man, you know, I'm selling it for $300 million right now. I don't care. Like
that much. I'm
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, and that was for like 2-3 of her albums. Not all of them, but like 3 of her albums. And she been fighting for that for a while. But she signed something that says that he owns it. You know, and it's just scary, man. I just don't. That's one of my worst fears. I just don't want to get got. You know, but right now, fortunately, like, not too many people out to get my publishing right now. Let's just say that. It ain't to that right now. Yeah, it's like, once it get to that, you know, that level where people like, oh, he's grossing a lot from his royalties off the publishing side. Let's see if he want $100,000, because they offering that to sub famous producers. Like, you want $100,000 for your publishing for these 2-3 songs? We'll buy it right now so we can get it for the rest of, our lives or whatever. Or they'll do it for 3 years and then you get it back. It's stuff like that. I get that, but it's preference. People want money now, fast money, and sometimes it's not the right way.
It's not worth it. Cause I know one thing I can't get. I'm not giving up ownership.
Spotify.
I can't give up no ownership, baby.
Yeah,
I lease all day, but ownership. I work too hard for this. Well, go ahead and tell me a little bit about, because we was talking a little bit about Jaleel Beats tape that you heard of back in the day. That influenced you to make your own and put it out just to get your name out there.
It's Jaleel Beats. He got this. I forgot what the beat tapes was called. I think one of the beats was called Triangle, and if you look up Jaleel Beats on Apple Music, it's a bunch of them. It was during that era of Meek Mill and Big Sean, Burn, and Dream Chasers. It was during that era. That's probably when I started. And Chief Keef was popping. I started off making drill trap beats, just that. And then I started sampling, and it was over. Once I found out I could do boom bap and sample, I was like, all right, it's a rap. I can do whatever I want with this. Like, this is. Then I started learning how to do R&B, and now I'm doing experiment with dancehall. And I want to get into dubstep, because a lot of people, they sell their instrumentals off to these DJs, and dubstep is really popping in these clubs. Like, depending on what type of club you go to. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really a really big market for that. So I'm trying to get into that. And Jaleel, I say he's one of the producers that inspired me. Dig got that dope. London on the track. Hit Boy going
crazy.
Yeah, he been going crazy for a long time. I mean, of course, Kanye. You got your Kanye's for real, Timbaland.
You heard some of the it's off top. You heard some of the tape?
No, I'm trying to wait till it's out. I ain't want to listen to live, none of that. I just like put it out and I listen to it, kind of. Now, if it don't come out for 6 months, I'll go look at the YouTube recordings. But it's like I just come out with music. People talking about the Jay-Z record. How y'all know that wasn't recorded 3 years ago? And Jay-Z, how y'all know if he cleared it or not? That's why the album ain't come out. There's a bunch of samples he got to clear. I think that's an old song to me. I think it is, unless. Maybe I got to listen to it. Maybe there's something that dates it. Like, maybe Jay-Z made a reference about the pandemic. Then I'll know that it's new.
They was like, it came out. He just recorded it 2 hours ago. I'm like, Jay-Z's not letting that fly. Unmastered, unmixed.
Exactly.
And coming out tonight, no.
Hell no. I just was like, come on, y'all. You got it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that. He done did this so many times. You know what I mean? I think he need to get help. You know what I mean? I want to work with you, Kanye, but I'm just being honest. Like, it's something.
It's something more.
Yeah, and everybody knows it. But it's genius, but we got to stop confusing. Like, you can be genius and not be mental. You know what I mean? Like, and get mental health treated and still be a genius.
I think it's the double case, but
yeah, man. Like, it's like, it's one of those things, like, they think, like, it's like how people say, the drugs making the music better. No. That's why I love when Cat Williams is like, drugs do not enhance my comedy. I don't take drugs. That's why I love that, because then Future, he admitted a few years ago. I think this is why, like, that's where I lost it for me, when he said he was talking about it, but he don't do it at all. He did it a couple times, or he used to, and he stopped. Didn't even do. I can't even listen to it no more. And I was in high school at the time.
Future high, bro.
Future
high, bro. They don't.
Man,
a couple tapes I don't like, but man, I'm Future high.
Oh man, I love Future, but like, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like one of those things, like, man, I don't think that'll enhance anything for me. Like, I'm just different type of breed. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just glad that he admitted it. He was being real.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, it's just like, dang. like stop talking about it. You know what I mean? Talk about he's a good dope artist. I like when he talk about something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. He talk about love on a lot of records. He got a lot of love records. Future, he an underrated new R&B type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? He got
a double tape too back in the
day. Like the Hendrix, man.
Yeah,
come on, man.
One of his best tapes.
Yes, bro. So it's like Post Malone, all these dudes getting tattoos on their face and all that. Like I'm just not really interested in that. I don't think that enhances anything. Nah. You know, it's just like.
But I could also, on the other side, I could get it. Like as a creative, like we look for things to spice up stuff.
Yeah.
But that's why I just let people do what they do.
Yeah, point. It's getting crazy. People looking alike, and but you know, then I have to keep in mind like in the 80s, if you go listen to 80s music on YouTube, it all kind of sound the same. 90s music, all kind of sound the same. And especially in the 80s, everybody's trying to sound like Mike. Yeah. You know, 70s, everybody trying to sound like the Gap Band. They starting every song.
Isley Brothers and
man, they played an instrumental for 1 minute. That used to be a thing. That ain't a thing no more because it was a thing back then. Every song did that. So I feel like we just in a different era, but at the same time, don't act like all the decades didn't sound the same. Like it's, you know, it's a lot of copying and, but you know, it's inspiration, man. You know what I mean? People take this and go a different route. I think Kanye one of the only niggas that's like, he inspired like whole generations and did something out of like Jesus. If you listen to it now, it's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, it's like he inspired what's going on now, and I hated the album at the time. And I was I a junior when that came out?
Really?
That came out a long time ago.
But kind of he reinvent himself every album. That's the
every album. He not afraid to jump out the box. And then like it took me a while to realize he was sampling 3 samples in one song, like. You know, and then playing over it, that's pretty hard to make it like this song you cut one thing and this person saying something and add it on to this and now it sound like one song.
Reverb it, turn the pitch up, all that. I try to do a little bit here and there, bro.
Word.
You know, stealing little plugins and stuff.
Yeah, word.
It's like I'm like I can't do it.
It's a.
So I commend everybody that can make a beat because I can't do it.
I commend the podcasters, man. I don't know if I could do.
It's kind of it get troubling at times, but it's easy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, cause you know, I don't know if you've seen what me and my wife we be doing YouTube. So yeah, like, it's kind of like it's just so hard to edit. I think editing be the worst part for me. You know, editing and all that. Like I used to want to do that before I wanted to do beats. I wanted to be like an animate for the NBA and all that. And I found out they didn't really get paid as much as they should be because that's a hard job to do. Unless they get like supervisor role or some shit like that. But the people editing, you know, 50, 60, but they got to move to LA where the shit is higher. You know, it's in some cases, not all cases. I'm sure there's some people making 70, 80 doing that, but like animation and all that shit hard. I commend the editing, YouTube editing. You know, I just download the film more. I just be cutting, putting my beats behind it, cutting and upload. I don't give a damn. Like
it ain't you know as hard. It's really just like you do, just getting audio, turning it, cutting here, turn it down, and all that. Yeah, matching it up. Yeah, boom. Now the other stuff that I do. Yeah, because I got a 24-hour turnaround period with everything. So a lot of people, that's like, okay, we record. Get here about 6:37. Yeah, we finish by like 9-10 o'clock.
Alright, okay.
Boom. I take all of Saturday. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's Sunday morning before it come out. Word. But I got my routine of I already know, okay, boom, I know it's gonna take 2-3 hours. It used to take me 2-3 days. But I could knock out videos.
See, that's like talent, man. That's talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people can't do that. I'm telling you, a lot. It takes a lot of patience too. Yeah. You know, a lot of patience. A lot of, you know. I mean, I guess beat making take patience too, but it's like one of those things. I just feel like some people got a natural thing. You probably got a natural thing for it. You know what I'm saying? So, but like it's one of those things where it can get aggravating if you haven't beat block. You know what I mean? Producers block. Really? It happens. At first, I was like, "Oh, it ain't never gonna happen to me." Kind of like writer's block. But it happens. It happens, and then that's when you just gotta. That's when me and my wife were like, "All right, it's time to travel. It's time to go do something else. Do something else, and then get that experience. Go back to the crib, and then all the moves that I contain and put it into the beat. You know, because that's.
I never thought about it like that.
And more producers are saying it now, because it's like people are realizing you can't just make 10 beats a day no more. Like, or it's gonna sound redundant, or you just gonna burn yourself out looking at a screen all day. I had to get my blue light glasses because the tech world messing my eyes up. Then I go and make beats after that, messing my eyes up. Now I got the blue light glasses to try to preserve my eyes some more. And it just got hectic, man. Like, it's one of those things, you can't just be on that shit all day, you know. So
I never thought about that.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, I ain't got nothing else, man. this is a real good conversation. We had a conversation, man. Listen, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. You got anything you want to say to the people? Promote?
Hey, man. Rap-Unzel from the rap game. I don't know if you watched it, but it used to come on Lifetime with Jermaine Dupri's show. So basically years ago, like, I'm watching the show with my wife. It's an artist on there named Rap-Unzel. Years later, she posts on her story her beat email. My wife sees it, and I got her beat email. And now her first project since then is coming out. We've been working on it for a long time. I produced like half the project.
Wow.
It's an EP. 6 songs. I did 3. A couple songs got cut from the project. But she got a listening party like Thursday. I'm finna pull up to Virginia. I'm being in Virginia Thursday. Album drop July 30th at midnight.
Wow.
So I'm really proud of her. It's called Pun-Intended. I almost forgot the name. Yeah, because the name Rap-Unzel. And yeah, I'm really proud of her, man. So another independent artist, you know, that I've been working with. They got the producer agreements lined up, all that. So then they trying to. I think the goal is a label, you know. So hopefully this project sparks some stuff. I've been hearing some rumblings, you know, with a partnership or whatever. So I just wanted to shout her out. That's my next thing coming up for me, placement wise. So you see, the Action Pack thing just came out, and now we got that. But it's like, all right,
you on the roll, man.
In my head, I'm thinking like, what's the next play? You know, because this album been done for a while. It just ain't come out yet.
Yeah.
But they just happen to come out at the same time. But they, you know, it's just God, you know. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you for inviting me up here. I had a good conversation,
problem,
man.
Appreciate it. We've been doing this for a long time, man.
Yes, sir.
It's another episode of Put Me On Game podcast. We out.